And we are live.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mitch Dunnett speaking. I'm here with Danny Sprung today. We're going to be watching some very exciting bridge. We've got an all-star cast at both tables. Some very seasoned partnerships with the Rosenbergs at one table, Pepsi and May at the same table, and it should be a lot of fun and a lot of fireworks. I think one of the things we will see is different styles in bidding, because I think that May and Jacob play a forcing club, and the other pairs I suspect probably play a strong no trump 2/1 style, and oftentimes those little differences can really swing a match. So hold on to your seats. We're going to see some good bridge, and let's go.
So yeah, we start out with an 8-card suit, some excitement already. Debbie has this very strong hand. She's got 9 tricks in her own hand with diamonds as trump. Sort of hand that's probably not going to make 3 in a trump without a lot of help for a partner, because you might need multiple stoppers, because you're going to need to knock out the ace of diamonds, and then if they have a suit to run, you're going to be in trouble. So it's sort of a hand where you're thinking 5 diamonds, not 3 now.
I like the 5 diamond bid for another reason, Danny, because first of all, it puts a lot of pressure on the opponents. They might have a lot of high cards, and now they'll just, having not found a fit, they'll just double based on high cards. And being white on red, that can't be bad.
Right.
But it's interesting at Miggery's table, Doug Dobbs' 5 diamond bid didn't keep Andrew out of the auction. He bid 5 spades, and let's see if the fireworks continue.
Yeah, I've got a lot of sympathy for the 5 spade bid. You're right against white, they could easily be stealing from you. You've got a stiff diamond. You've got a partial fit for partners clubs.
I agree with you. Now at the other table, Debbie Rosenberg bid twice and now let 4 spades go. So we'll see what happened. Now they're in 5 spades at the other table.
Well, this looks like it's going to be a swing, because 4 spades just had 3 losers. On some layouts, you might be able to duck some clubs and shut out the clubs. But here with this,
I really like the way Doug Dobbs bid his hand. He bid 5 diamonds and now backs him with doubles, saying, I wasn't just preempting, I have the tickets as well. So I like it. I really like his action.
not really much to play here. Perhaps he's going to try trump. He's going to knock out the ace of clubs.
One of the things I always find interesting in bridge, Danny, is many hands, not too many, there's a lot of poker elements. And this is one of those, how to approach when you have this 8-card diamond suit, there is an element of playing poker, whether you bid slowly or bid them up. You, of course, as an expert poker player, do you find that sometimes your poker skills assist you when you're playing bridge?
Sure, and that actually goes both ways, because one of the things about poker, especially no limit hold'em these days, is that a lot of what you're doing is not saying, all right, I think my opponent has this particular hand. You think they have a range of hands, and that's a similar concept to when, say, your opponent up with a no trump, they have a range between 15 and 17. When an opponent makes a certain action in poker, they might have a strong range, but not a super strong range. Same idea.
Of course, some of our partners playing 15 to 17 have 13 to 18 points, but that's another story.
Yeah. So this is going to be what, 13 imps?
Well, you never know when there'll be a revoke, but probably won't happen.
Yeah, this one's it's hard to see how the defense is going to go wrong. Doob just has to just cash the ace king of hearts that he sees in front of him. So I'm getting a message that people are not able to hear you, Mitch.
Okay, so I'm going to Let's see. I'm going to try and move in the location of the room I'm at. And Danny, do you hear me now or not?
I hear you. I just got a message from Ralph Katz that he couldn't hear you. Maybe if you're a little louder.
He's been tuning me out for years, but I'll try and speak a little louder.
I do hear you better now, actually. I don't know what you did.
I moved to a different location in the room where I'm at. And this,
Okay.
and Ewan just wrote that it got better.
So on board 17, the second board of the set, Pepsi is up at a heart. Rosenberg made a normal takeout double. Now May's got an interesting decision. Talk about poker as to how many hearts to bid. You sort of suspect that the opponents are about to bid 4 spades over your eventual 4 heart game. And we'll see how she handles it. She just bids 2 on trump, which I'm assuming is a limit raise or better kind of hand.
Now they're playing precision. I'm wondering whether or not they open a lot of 10 counts, in which case, because most people probably would just jump to 4 hearts, but playing precision, maybe she's accounting for the possibility that he might have a weaker hand and she's only bidding 2 no. Obviously, if they end up playing 3 hearts, they're going to win the kitty. So the Waldowski team has drawn first blood as we predicted, and they've now gone up by 5 imps.
So here, yeah, May's gonna go on and bid 4 hearts, and unfortunately for her, that her partner's got 2 minor suit doubletons, where if she had, say, 3 clubs and a stiff diamond, or 3 diamonds and a stiff club, they would have made 4 hearts.
It's going to be pretty easy for Michael to lead a diamond on her and get the defense right here. From the other side, you'd have a chance to make this hand if it got a spade lead. So perhaps if it'd been a Flannery auction, West would be playing 4 hearts, and you might have a different result.
Yeah, but even opposite of Flannery, you probably wouldn't lead a spade. You'd probably choose a minor.
Yeah, probably.
And then the defense would be even easier because the dummy's too little, and the minors are too little, queen and 1, and the minors would be on display for all to see.
Okay, I've turned my mic up a little bit more. I hope that makes it easier for everybody. If it doesn't, I apologize.
If it doesn't, you just have to listen. You'll just have to listen to me.
Well, they could do worse. They could do a lot worse than having to listen to you.
So, any thoughts of sticking a bid in with Doug's hand over a heart double to no trump? Debbie Rosenberg didn't bid either, but he does have a 6-card suit, a singleton in the opponent's suit, and some values. Would you
really
consider a 3 diamond bid there?
I'm not a fan of a 3 diamond bid because I don't really want to get my partner off to a diamond lead from king and 1 or some holding like that. So if I was white on red, it might have a little bit more value because I might have a save, but at equal vulnerability, I personally would not do that. Having said that, Doug Dobb is just stuck in a 3 diamond bid. Okay.
Yeah. Well, here your partner has the ace, king, queen of diamonds, so they were going to get off to that lead anyway. So there won't be any harm in that.
So the 3 heart bid was alerted, which I presume what question was whether rebidding 3 hearts by Andrew's hand shows a weaker hand or is it forward going. Looking at his hand, I suspect their agreement is it's weaker, but I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I think that's the more common treatment as well. Is the 3 hearts is the most regressive bid, says, like, this is where we're forced to, so we'll just bid at that level and not give the opponents any 2 bids or anything like that. We'll just bid what we're gonna always bid. So this figures to be a push.
This should be a push, yes.
So what Mitch, we discussed the idea of looking at interesting boards, since this one looks like it's going to be a push at both tables. Ewan, can we see what happened on board 16 in the other match? Since that was an interesting board. Looks like a 7M swing. So
5 spades and 5 diamonds double.
So yeah, one team bought it in both rooms, went down 1 at both tables. The old quote unquote insurance, which isn't always so cheap. When both contracts fail, you lose 7. But here, yeah, so here,
Debbie was the only player not to bid 5 diamonds.
I have a lot of empathy for the 5-spade bid, I have to say.
yep. Can we just see how the auction went in the closed room where did play 5 diamonds doubled? Okay, yeah, so it went slowly. So East was able to get their hand off their chest. They bid a spade, they bid 4 spades, and now when the opponents bid 5 diamonds, the East-West side had no problem doubling that. Although, you know, there's no guarantee they were beating it from either of their hands. Okay. Back to our match. There we go.
Okay, we both can take a nap, as I can't imagine anything going haywire and defending 4 hearts, but things go haywire sometimes.
Well, Rosenberg cashes 2 diamonds and then shifted to a trump. So it turns out his 7 of spades is going to stop the opponents from. This is interesting. He'll actually get an extra trick this way because now Pepsi took a first round spade finesse, hoping to get rid of his clubs, and now the 4 hearts will go down 2. I don't know if that was what Michael had in mind when he didn't try to cash his side's club tricks.
And this is the kind of hand to be an interesting decision playing match points as opposed to imps, because the imps is certainly worth your contract to take a risky finesse because of the game bonus, but at pairs you'd think twice about that.
Notice he needed specifically queen third on side, right? Because if it was queen fourth on side, a spade to the 10, ace of spades, king of spades only gives him 1 pitch. He needs 2 pitches in order for that to work.
And
Rosenthal was, I believe, was faced with a similar problem. It did not take the first round spade finesse, so he's going to go down only 1, and that will earn his side 2 imps. So you talk about quote unquote 15 to 17 no trumps. Would you upgrade the West hand to a 1 no trump third seat favorable on board 18?
I wouldn't, because I'd like to. I'm so rich in the majors. I would like to. I open a minor and get to a major. If I open a no trump, I'm going to play it sometime there, and I think I'd rather either have partnered with a no trump over a diamond, or try and find a 4-4 heart fit. So I do upgrade some hands, and this is upgradable on strength, but I personally wouldn't do it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would 100% agree. I would, if my minors were ace king fourth, ace king 10 fourth, I would definitely open a no trump here. You don't necessarily want to miss a major suit fit. Can we hover over the 1 club? I thought are they playing like a Polish club? No, they're just playing a 2+ club.
I see. Okay.
And interestingly, Debbie has chosen to double 1 club, thinking she was too strong for a 1 diamond overcall. I'm sort of loath to do that with Jack 3 too low in the majors.
I don't think it's unreasonable. I would have overcalled a diamond myself, but it's certainly right on the bubble there.
Yeah, if you overcall a diamond, and it almost never goes all pass, and if it does, it doesn't necessarily mean you missed a game. So here, having overcalled, having doubled, she's now backing in with 3 no trump, hoping to get a club lead and just have 9 top tricks, which, well, she doesn't quite have that. It appears she has 3 clubs and 6 diamonds. Oh yeah, she can't get to that king of clubs because the diamonds are 3-1. So the opponents could just take a bunch of major suit tricks to start with, or when they lead a club, eventually she's going to be disappointed to see that the diamonds were 3-1.
Since the ace kings and the majors are in the opposite hand from the jack of clubs, the defense will probably survive without working up too much of a sweat. Could be an interesting hand if the jack of clubs was with the major suit cards, but that's not the case here.
Yeah, so what Mitch is saying is that when Debbie starts running the diamonds, if West had all the assets, they might end up being squeezed in some way.
Now, a useful treatment that many pairs play is Smith Echo. And for those of you who aren't familiar with that, what that is the carding of the opponent, the opening leader and their partner say whether they like the opening lead by the way they card in the tricks as declare plays them. And that would, if they're playing that, and I suspect they are, that would give a roadmap to the defense to making the defense relatively successful.
So here we see a difference in the open, in the room on the right, which people often refer to as the closed room. Migri up in one diamond, playing better minor. And now Doug Dube contented himself with a 1-no trump overcall and bought it, which 1-no trump will not be much of a problem. In fact, the opponents have led a diamond for him. So he'll soon be claiming 120. So Pepsi has clung to plenty of clubs. He's not in danger of unblocking or unguarding the jack of clubs here and having Debbie overtake the queen with the king and scoring a ton of clubs.
I think Pepsi's made it pretty easy for May to get this hand right.
I think her hand makes it easy to get the hand right too. Having ace king. Yeah, and you sort of know your partner needs to do something over there. There's not much bad that's going to happen.
Although Pepsi has come down to queen and a heart, that could pose a problem. We'll see.
So when Debbie cashes the queen of clubs, May's going to need to
pitch a spade and under
pitch
a heart.
A spade, not a heart. If she pitches a heart, she's going to get implayed into having to give Debbie the jack of spades.
I think she should find the right play because Pepsi has pitched his spades and held on to some hearts, and the way she should analyze this hand is she should be simply saying, I can't beat this hand unless my partner has the heart queen. But well, you know what? It's easy for us because we're looking at all four hands.
Yes. Sorry for the noise getting.
Now the spotlight is on May. We'll see what happens here. All right, and now the hand is going to get made.
Okay, so what we thought was going to be a swing for Wodowski team will go the other way.
Right. Again, it's important to say it's easy for us. We're looking at all four hands. You know, Bob Hammond played an interesting match once. He was playing against, I want to say, 4 baseball players, and they had a match, and the deal was that the baseball players, before every hand, could take 10 seconds to look at each other's hands. And they played their match. I don't know whether it was 8 or 12 boards or whatever, but the match was very close, even though the opponents got to look at all their cards. So I think it was the St. Louis Cardinals, but it might have been some baseball players from various teams.
So the match you're talking about was actually written up in Eddie Cantor's book Bridge Humor, and The names I remember include Tim McCarver, who was the St. Louis Cardinal you're referring to. It also had Jim Bunning, a Philly, and a basketball player. I think was Dave DeBuscher, but I'm not sure. And I don't remember who the fourth player was. Maybe it might even been a golfer. So anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program here.
Okay. All right. Pretty natural auction with Doug and Yichi. 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 hearts, 4 hearts.
So Migri has gone aggressive here, leading the diamond away from her king. Not gonna be enough to let Declare make this contract. There's still a fair amount of losers. Yeah, I guess they can set up the clubs for another diamond pitch, lose a spade, a club, and a heart.
Yeah, but they might be double hooking spades here, which could be very sad.
That's true.
I would have to say playing the spade. The question is, what can I infer that it's not typical to lead away from a king against a game contract? So what can I infer as Declare from the fact that the West is led away from a diamond king? And I would usually think they have some other honors that are unattractive to lead from, which would make me believe that I get one, if not both, spade honors on my left. Anyway, so I think it'd be very tempting to be playing on spades here.
So we see the same auction and the same lead in the other room as well. And Yiji's taking the inference that yes, Migri has other honors, but she's playing her for the king of clubs, which she does have. And that'll get rid of another one of her pointed suit losers.
Now, if the king of diamonds is continued, that'll get rough. And then careful heart play will limit the heart losers.
And so now Migri's essentially taking a roughing finesse on defense.
Now a club will come back, and Yichi just has to be careful. And no, the king of spades came back. All right.
Now she'll take her pitch on the queen of clubs, presumably. Yeah.
Pitch on the queen of clubs, and now the 7 of hearts will see them home.
Nope. So the jack of hearts is now going to give East West a trump trick to go along with their spade trick that they're not going to see go away. So that's going to be minus 100. Let's see how Michael Rosenberg handles it if he takes the inference that you took, Mitch, which is that West probably has a spade honor for their aggressive diamond lead and starts taking spade finesses.
Well, I'm never going to bet on me against Michael Rosenberg when it comes to analyzing the player, but it'll be interesting to see. All right, so he got the diamond lead. He's fearful of a diamond rough, perhaps, and he's playing on hearts. And in essence, he's probably postponing his decision.
No, and East wins the king of hearts. This is another good thing about this line of play is that now they're going to have to break a suit for Michael.
That's true.
The very, 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 very fast 6 of clubs back would imply to me that the king of clubs is on your left.
It'd be very hard to be switching to a club when you're looking at the king there. So
Yep.
Michael's going to go up. He's going to pull trumps, and he's going to play a club.
Yeah. So I'll take 5 hearts and 2 clubs and 2 diamonds on the ace of spades. So that'll be 10 imps for Rosenthal.
Right.
So on to the next board in the closed room on the right, we see Migri is up in one club with a very modest collection, 11 high card points counting a stiff jack.
And this is
Although,
a matter. This is I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
yeah, no, her 4-4 in the majors is probably what encouraged her to do it, because if she finds a major suit fit, she has a very good dummy for partner for hearts or spades.
There's nothing wrong with opening this kind of hand. The issue is in your partnership, what are your agreements? In most of my partnerships, right or wrong, I would not open this hand if I was vulnerable. If I would open the hand if I was not vulnerable. But I don't quarrel with this. With the good intermediate spots and both majors, I don't quarrel with it at all. What are your thoughts on that, Danny?
You know, I would probably open the bidding, but you just need partner not to just go crazy driving the game when they have a balanced 12. That's, you know, that's the big issue there.
If the jack of diamonds was somewhere else, I would open the bidding. Maybe that's just I'm just too much of a curmudgeon.
So here we see Rosenthal continue with 2 spades, which I'm assuming is some sort of spiral type ask.
I would agree with you.
Personally, I've had some bad results using 2 spades instead of 2 no as artificial when we have hearts. Somehow the opponents often get to double 2 spades when they didn't necessarily know that they were going to have a spade fit, and then all of a sudden can find a good cheap save against 4 hearts or even a make sometimes.
And I like using 2 no trump. That's a good point, Danny. I like 2 no trump for another reason, which is I play with a lot of different people, and if I insist on playing 2 no trump with spiral, I never have to remember who I play what with.
Yes. So here, Migri has shown 4 cards in the minimum, which certainly she has. So Rosenthal wasn't so interested in minimum or maximum. He just wanted to make sure he's playing an 8-card major suit fit before he commit to 4 hearts. Okay. And there he went.
As we dissected from the last board where Michael Rosenberg made 4 hearts, the Rosenthal team has increased their lead to 17 imps.
So I'm still getting messages that people are struggling to hear you, Mitch. Maybe you can get closer to your microphone.
Okay, all right. Either that, or I should start talking less. No, seriously, I'm going to speak louder and closer.
That's a little better. I'm not sure if not sure how that's going. So we see in the open room, May Soccer did not open that hand. The 4-4-4-1-11 count, and now she's going to have the decision of whether or not to try for game. Her hand hasn't really gotten better when her partner opens her singleton.
On the face of it, this looks like a hand that you're going to need to find the trump queen to make 4 hearts.
Well, you also have to worry about a second club loser.
Right, but I think that's about to go away. We'll see. Maybe not. No, maybe not at all. They should be putting in the 9 of clubs here. That's an excellent point.
So they won the spade lead, shifted to a club, and now when North gets in, they have 2 clubs to take.
Right. So this is good defense by Dobb and Brennan, and I suspect they're going to go plus.
So May Soccer has gone on and just bid 4 hearts, taking the inference that partner didn't pass 1 heart, which they could have done since she was a passed hand. So partner probably has 4 hearts on a somewhat sound opening bid.
Yeah, good judgment on her part, in my opinion.
And we see that game is now played from the other side, which may make things better for declarer. They didn't get a spade lead and a club shift, which really basically. Sorry about the bings, folks.
Well, it looks like 4 hearts will be done at both tables, but we'll see what happens. Now, Michael could play the ace of clubs, seeing his partner show up, play another round of clubs to try and promote his eight of hearts. That could be dangerous if his partner has no hearts.
Yeah, I think you can see enough spots to know that even if a partner has the stiff queen of hearts, that that's not enough. I guess a partner has the stiff king of hearts. That might have been a trick, but then they might get that trick anyway.
Well, again, if the declare has five hearts, the other line would be embarrassing as a spade would get pitched.
Sure, sure. So Rosenthal could just draw trumps and his king of diamonds is good. 9 tricks for him. So East in the upper room has, for those of you who are not aware, is commonly called Pepsi since his last name is not so easy to pronounce. So when we refer to Pepsi, we're not talking about the soft drink, we're talking about East in the open room. And
The Rosenbergs are probably hoping that things go better with Coke. I couldn't help myself. Sorry. All right.
so while Pepsi is going down 1 in the open room, let's see what's going to happen next in the closed room. Wow, three passes to you, and you've got this monstrous minor suit hand. Usually you'd expect the bidding to be at 4 hearts or 4 spades by the time it got to you. And here you get to open 1 nice little diamond.
Well, also you have the advantage you're white on red, so the opponents can't be preempted with their major suit fits as frivolously when they're red on white.
Yeah, we see Dubas continued to stay out of the auction with his broken spade suit and 9 sort of mediocre high card points. So it looks like East West are going to have a free run here. Both major suit aces will take care of Miggery's spade, so it's just a question of how many minor suit losers she has. And looking at the combination, you'd sort of want to be in 6 diamonds, I would think.
Well, 6 diamonds or 6 clubs looks like, 6 diamonds looks better, but it looks like you need to pick up either the clubs or the diamonds, but there's only going to, on a spade lead, you'd only have 1 entry to the dummy.
True.
So therefore, you'd probably just take a diamond finesse, because even if the club finesse is successful, you'd have no way to get back to the dummy to take a second club finesse.
So Miggery bids a very quiet 2 clubs. I don't think this is going to be the route where they're going to get to anything close to a slam.
I agree. Now, maybe if her partner had bid a spade, she might have bid 3 clubs, but she basically went the slow route because she didn't like hearing a heart.
So it's interesting. If you are in a slam and you only get to choose 1 finesse and hope to drop the other honor. Either way works. The queen of diamonds drops if you take the club finesse. The king of clubs drops if you take the diamond finesse. They might not even get the game here. I think that Rosenthal's just gonna give it up. His partners sound like they've got a 5-5 16-ish count. And he's got 0 points in the partner suits. I think he's just gonna let 3 clubs go.
I think you're right. I mean, he does have 2 sticks though, but still, 11 trick minor suit game looks like it's out of reach.
Yeah, and even 3 now seems pretty questionable. I mean, you only have 1 stopper in spades. You know they're going to lead spades because of the auction.
I'm looking forward on this hand to see not only what happens with May and Jacob, but also how it's bid at the other table. So this is this board number 20. This is one we should be taking a look at because it's interesting.
So May went down 2 and 4 hearts. Oh, claim declined. I'm not sure what's going on over there. We sort of lost track because we're watching the right-hand board.
Michael Rosenberg was playing trumps and going for the slow death instead of the quick one, and this looks like it's going to reap rewards.
So apparently there was a claim in the open room and
And the director's been called.
yeah.
Well, let's take a moment while this is going on to look and see what's happening in the other match on board 20, see if anyone's there. I'm curious to see what the auctions have gone.
20 or 21's interesting as well.
Okay, that one I haven't seen yet, but on board 20,
20, we saw the equivalent of the Pepsi May soccer auction on the left-hand side.
oh, 21 is the one that I'm interested in. I'm sorry. So 21, Sandra Rimstead opened probably
Multi.
2 diamonds multi, and that will. Well, we're gonna enjoy watching this. Let's see what happens.
That's gonna confound Kevin. Like, all right, partner's got a week 2 in a major. Now what? Once again, you know, I don't know exactly how he should proceed from here.
A very practical pass by Kevin Dwyer. Very practical pass. Partners made a non-vulnerable preamp, probably has 6 hearts, and I must admit I would pass 2 diamonds also. So pundits can all yell about it, but that's what I would do too. Now, as a matter of style, I see on board 20, Market Abashi did pass the first chair with the 4-4-4-1 with the stiff jack. But of course, he, again, like you pointed out, when partner doesn't pass 1 heart as a past hand, you're going to play them for full opening value. So just as we saw at the other table, Mark jumped to 4 hearts.
However, we see that East West in this match made 4 hearts at the other table, so that's going to be 12 M's for Mullins here.
Okay, 12 M's for Mullins, and the
Right.
Mullins.
So we head back to our original match.
Sure, let's go back.
So we see Pepsi also up in a multi and is going to play it there. So this looks like a board that's going to be. No, Debbie hasn't sold out yet. We see Migri made 170 in 3 clubs. And Pepsi will make a similar number in diamonds if he's allowed to play there. Now, a lot of people play, there are strongish hands that Michael Rosenberg can pass over multi, and that when it goes pass, that, well, Debbie didn't protect here, that North needs to be more aggressive in protecting their side score. And here she just let it go. So 21 is not going to be interesting. Let's see how 22 is going in the closed room.
Doug Daub was not willing to settle for defending 2 hearts. He doubled. I think that's reasonable. And Yichi did 2 spades. Seems reasonable again. And it looks like 2 spades is going to be touch and go. I think it can be made. It looks on the face of it like you're going to lose 2 hearts, 2 clubs, and a diamond, and you can get to dummy with a heart rough to play on spades. We shall see.
We'll declare have the timing to set up that 13th club. That's the only, well, spade lead sort of helps their cause too. Well, maybe not. Maybe now they can stop the heart rough.
Well, the thing about the spade lead is you can win the spade as declare, play a diamond to trick 2, and now if they continue spades, you have an entry in the dummy to pitch a heart.
If you guess the diamond correctly. Oh, they did open a diamond, so you probably will get that right. They probably won't bucket the diamond, given that they've already squealed that they have the values for their side.
Now the key play though is if the jack of spades is played from dummy, not to cover. And if the 2 of spades needs to be played to preserve the position where you can guarantee an entry to the dummy if the opponents continue to attack spades. All right. Again, we're looking at all 4 hands. It's very easy for us. The 2 of spades, the play I like, is made by Daub. diamond play as predicted.
Mhm.
You know, this is the kind of hand where you just can't be sloppy. You know, Doug was careful to play the two of spades, and now by playing the diamond, presumably guessing the diamonds, they can't beat it. But if you got careless to trick one and play the jack or the nine of spades, it might be a different outcome.
You know, he starts building his eighth trick in clubs.
Right.
So in the open room, Michael has raised one spade to two, so Debbie didn't need to balance to get their side there. The only question is, will Debbie get too high? And we see that she is.
She just made a
Hit
game
on.
try. She's got shortness in the opponent's first bid suit. She made a game try, and they're going to be one level too high in all likelihood, because I don't think Michael will give her any more of a push. Same trump lead. Now, what does the trump lead tell you? For starters, it tells you the ace of hearts is on your left near the declare, because otherwise they bid and raised hearts. They would have let a heart if they didn't have the ace.
So on board 21, the big 6-5, I'm hearing that one of the Capolettis opened 3-no trump, showing both minors. So I think that might change the result for that. They might actually get to
Well,
game.
they might get to game, but they're looking with two aces, but with 3-2 in the minors, they might not. I don't know. It's still hard to get to slam.
So Pepsi tried the effect of ducking the diamond, but Debbie still guessed it correctly.
Now, as long as Jacob on 22, as long as he doesn't try, well, he's not going to be cashing. He's not going to be under leading or cashing his odds because the clear played it.
So soccer needs to win the third round of hearts so she can, sorry, the second round of hearts so she can play the third round of spades. Which she does. And now the defense is going to get a heart and two clubs.
Right.
So that's going to be 5 imps for Wadowski. So in the close room, McGree's up at a diamond, rebid a no trump, and Rosenthal has 12 with a nice 5-card suit, and his queen jack of diamonds is in partner suit, which makes the hand a lot more appealing than if he had queen jack tight of clubs, for example. So I suspect he's going to drive the game with this hand. We'll see which variation of some sort of check back they're using as well.
I imagine that Andrew, if they're playing it, will bid 2 clubs, forcing the relay to 2 diamonds, and then jump to 3-no trump, which would show a 5-3-3-2 hand in a choice of games. So we'll see if that's what happens here.
Yes.
And that would be very tempting to pass three no trump when you're 4-3-3. So that would be a fine auction. Let's see if that's what happens.
And four hearts does actually go down on the club rough.
Well, I think three no trump goes down on a club lead, so it could be a minus score any way you go.
Yeah. And for the defense, the no trump is coming from the side that will make the club lead more obvious. If somehow Rosenthal is playing three no trump, leading from ace and one club is not going to be high on many people's list. So here we see he's gone two clubs, two diamonds, two no trump. Can we see what the alert of two no trump is?
Well, it's probably invitational balanced hand. Yeah.
Five hearts balanced invite. Okay.
And Migri 4-3-3 and 14 is happy to bid the game.
Mm-hmm. And happy to play too.
Now, he does have four spades, but I'd be very surprised if he doesn't lead a club. Now, his partner didn't double two clubs, so maybe that would push him another way. We'll find out.
Well, he's got five clubs. He knows his partner doesn't have enough clubs to double.
Yeah, I think club lead is the standout here. We're about to find out.
You just don't need very much from partner to beat three no trump with a club lead. You need a fair amount of spade values to set up enough tricks.
Yep, I agree with you completely, my friend. All right, let's just see as a matter of style what the auction is at the other table. Let's start a diamond, a heart, a no trump. And let's see what Pepsi does.
Notice that do like the 10 of clubs, top of an interior sequence instead of fourth best, which will make it easier for EG to.
This hand's going to go down very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Migri will have some hope that the hard ace is in the hand with the short clubs or no more clubs, but that hope will be dashed pretty quickly. Quick down one.
Okay, so Pepsi made the bid that I thought might happen at the other table. Two clubs, two diamonds, jump to three no trump, which many expert players played. It's 5-3-3-2 choice of games between hearts and no trump. And here I think May will probably pass because she's 4-3-3, but we shall see.
So in fourth chair with Yuji's hand in the closer, might be tempted up and one no trump here. You have a nice 14 with a good 5-card suit.
And you want the lead coming up to the king of clubs. It's perfectly reasonable, especially with people playing puppet Stamen over a no trump. The reluctance we all formerly had to open a no trump with a 5-card suit, that has really shrunk over time. So I'm with you on this. I would open a no trump. It's also possible they're playing 14-16, not vulnerable on no trump range. I don't know. But even if it's 15-17, this is a hand that is worthy of upgrading because this hand wants to play the hand in hearts or spades. So I like the no trump bid.
Yeah, I think it's gonna end up the same way. I think Dube is gonna bid some form of Drury here, showing a maximum passed hand with heart support, and Brennan's just gonna get bid a game.
And it looks like this game is Mitch proof.
Well. Will the spade rough beat it if they find it?
Oh, you had to point that out, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, it's not, I mean, do they have to lead ace of spades in a spade and then get the diamond going? Because if they lead a club, now declarer might have enough pitches, they'll get a later pitch on the club and a spade and not lose any diamonds. So it looks like they need to lead the ace of spades in a spade. They've let a low diamond, so
They let a diamond.
we're seeing that the fence can still prevail after the diamond lead.
Yeah, the diamond lead doesn't really help to declare here.
Well, and it also knocks out an entry to the late spade trick. I think they're going to need to defend carefully to beat it at this point. Now they can just go ahead and get their spade rough. And that'll be the end of that. Now he's the ace of clubs, right? So that's going to be down one. And we'll see how the Rosenbergs handle this combination. Would you be tempted to open one diamond in the east chair after a pass?
It's not my style. I mean, I would open two diamonds weak before I would open one diamond. And I'm not a huge fan of 5-card weak two bids equal colors. White on red, I might do it, but I wouldn't open one diamond. What's your style, Dan?
I'd be more tempted to open one diamond because I usually play two diamonds as artificial, and I do want to get that suit in. It's King Jack 10 8 5 diamonds is a suit you want to bid when you can.
That's a very good point. So when you open a diamond and partner bids a spade, do you excuse yourself and go to the lavatory, or what do you do then?
I bid two clubs like I have it.
Okay.
And hope.
Okay, good, good answer.
I've been a confident, firm two clubs and hope things don't go too far off the rails. We are non-vulnerable in partners of past hand, so they shouldn't be going too crazy here. And here we're just going to be able to pass two diamonds and excuse ourselves from ever bidding again. So 4 hearts down one. We'll see how the Rosenbergs do with this. The two diamonds was presumably a maximum past hand kind of raise as well. Not Drury, just more like a Q bid.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Michael's not going to love his hand because he's got 3 low diamonds in the suit that was bid on his right, and he's got king queen third on that spades on the suit that was bid on his left. He's 5-3-3-2, and his partner's a past hand. He might just go a little lower and not drive to game. Might invite game somehow, perhaps with 2 spades.
An excellent point. You're right. The hand looks worse, even though it's 14 high cards. There's a lot of negatives here.
The auction hasn't made the hand better, that's for sure. And he has bid 2 spades to invite partner to bid game. I'm not sure what soccer is hoping to accomplish with the double. Her partner didn't make a support double of spades, and she doesn't really want to compete in spades. And she will be on lead against hard contracts. So this double seems to just give the opponents more room to pass or redouble as they see fit. And that's what Debbie has chosen to do. She passed. I think Michael's just going to let it go at this point.
Well, I'm wondering whether Debbie's pass is weaker than her bidding 3 hearts. We talked about this earlier. Is this more forward going, or is this what does this indicate?
Yeah,
her hand's okay. I mean, she's got the roughing value in diamonds. She likes that, and now we have and Michael's still not giving up.
Michael's decided to.
No, Debbie's pass probably shows more than the dead minimum, I'm guessing, and because if she was showing a dead minimum for the cubit, he would let it go. But instead, he's not. he's now bid 3 diamonds, so he's still making one more try. And I think here, I think Debbie's kind of showed her hand. So I think, I hate to guess, but I'm guessing they're not going to get a king.
Well, let's see what's happening in the other room. Dube has opened a club. I'm assuming that they play weak nut trumps, and that's why he did not open a 15 to 17 nut trump. One spade, pretty cheeky overcall, unfavorable vulnerability. Wow. GG made a normal negative double. Yeah, so we can see Dube's double of 2 spades just said I have a strong no trump kind of hand. And now UG's put 3 diamonds. I suspect that 3 no trump is coming next.
I suspect you're right. And Michael has bid 3 hearts, and I think they're going to be done in 3 hearts.
Yeah, I'm sure Debbie's gonna pass now. She hasn't passed all these times to bid 4 hearts when partner signs off.
I like their auction. I mean, I got to tell you, frankly, I like the Rosenberg's auction. Debbie made the key bid in my estimation by not bidding 3 hearts over the double. The double. You pointed out that the double of spades was not a great bid because it gave the opponents more room, and it did just that because Debbie was now able to distinguish between rebidding 3 hearts and passing, showing something more forward going. And they had a further dialogue, a little bit more room. They were able to stop at 3 hearts. I thought that was excellent judgment by the 2 of them.
Yep. They'll win 5 M's for their troubles. Meanwhile, Dube has not chosen to bid 3 no trump over 3 diamonds. He just bid 3 hearts. I guess he wanted to let partner in on the 3 card heart support, realizing that if 3 no trump at the right spot, partner could still bid 3 spades and then he could bid 3 no trump. But I'd be a little worried that that would show a less secure stopper than ace king third. More like ace empty third, where it's like, I'm not really sure what to play. I'm pretty sure his double denied 4 hearts, so there's no chance that EG's gonna think that 4 hearts is the right spot. So it seems like they're gonna end up getting 3 no trump this way either way. Nope. Once again, another losing prediction. So this is, they're going to be playing 3 hearts with the values for a game, and 3 no trump looks like it's pretty likely to make.
Well, it depends. If you were double hooking in diamonds, 3 no trump could be very sad. But if you're double hooking in clubs, you harness a bunch of tricks.
Right. So presumably in 3 no trump, he would have gotten this the 10 of spades lead. He wanted to win the jack, and being in the dummy to start with seems more natural to start by double hooking clubs than diamonds.
I agree with you again. So it might be time for the 2 of us to fill out a convention card because we are way too off. Okay.
Yes. Right. Sounds like a plan.
Why don't we look and see what's happening in the other match, shall we?
Sure.
We're at a little bit of a lull here. Let's switch.
Let's get a score update. I think we might have lost you temporarily. Oh, there he is. So, ooh, high scoring at the other match. Mullins is leading by 1, 78-77. The hand we were just talking about with a potential double hook in clubs, we can see Paul Lewis has done that. He won the spade lead with the jack and 3-0 and hooked the 10 of clubs to the king. He's going to get to the dummy with another red card and do it again. Drive out the queen of clubs. He'll take 3 clubs, 3 spades, 2 hearts, and a diamond.
You're right. So that'll be 9 tricks. It's going to probably be 9 tricks at both tables. Yep. It's 10 of spades again, led by Diza. Seems pretty normal. And that I think we're going to see probably a push result on this one.
Yeah. He doesn't, I guess he doesn't even need to double hook take the second hit of clubs because he just can power out the queen at this point, right?
That's true. But as a matter of style, we all like to go for the double hook.
Sure. I'm just wondering if there's there's no danger in opening up one of the red suits, obviously.
No,
Enough wood. Might as well make that extra trick if the queen third of clubs is onside. All right, shall we go back to our
Yeah, let's go back. So that's a good match. We got that match is hanging in the balance. It's a 1 imp difference, and now we're back to the Rosenthal Wildowski match, and that match is still close, 15 imps.
You know, we see there's going to be a 5 imp swing likely to Rosenthal on 24, and then also potential swing to them on 25, where they did not get to that 300 trump that we saw in both tables at the other match. So the defense has taken their spade rough, and they still have a club to come. And Michael just needs to rough a diamond and draw trumps and claim. Or doesn't even need to rough a diamond because the spades are set up.
You're right.
So that's going to be 5 imps for sure. It was pointed out in the chat that the 2 diamond cubit by Debbie Rosenberg here might only show 3 hearts. They might have other ways of showing a raise with 4 trumps. Some people use 2 no, some people use spades. So that's another reason that Michael Rosenberg might have settled for a part square here.
Well, king queen again, king queen third of spades in front of the person who's doubled spades 500 times is not good, and then 3 small diamonds is bad also. So, you know what, they earned their imps. They had good judgment, both of them.
So the Rosenbergs will have a normal statement auction to 3 no, I assume. They might use puppet statement here to try to conceal declarers major shoot holdings when they don't have 4 spades or not. What's your feeling about that? Would you prefer to use puppet statement here and conceal the partner's major shoots? Yeah, that's what Michael Rosenberg's done. 2 no trump is puppet.
That's my preference here. I like the concealment elements of getting 2 no with puppet statement, so that if they don't, partner doesn't have 4 hearts, I'm not going to be able to tell the opponents. The opponents won't learn on the auction if they have 4 spades. So I like that. Yeah,
that's the upside. The downside is when Debbie bids 3 clubs, Michael's now going to bid 3 spades to say that he has 4 hearts, and the opponents will be able to double or not double 3 spades.
You're right.
So there's some inference there that maybe Pepsi will stay off the spade lead for that reason. But I think he's still going to lead a spade with his queen 10 9 5th. The 3 hearts did make in the 4-3, so the loss will only be the difference between a part score and a game, and not a game and a part score going.
And it's a non-vulnerable game, so it's not as costly as missing the opponent.
Yep, we're guessing it'll be 6 imps to Rosenthal. So on to 26 in the closed room. Rosenthal presumably up in a no trump, and I think everyone's going to let that go, but that's another prediction that could be wrong. Would you invite with Stamen with Migri's hand?
I would not. How about you?
I don't think I would. It's kind of close.
Maybe this is quibbling, but if the 10 of hearts was the 10 of spades, I wouldn't.
Yeah, for sure I would then. Your high cards are in your long suits, which is nice. You're not 4-3-3, which is nice.
It's not unreasonable to do it. It's just the way I look at it is, there are going to be some hands the partner accepts. They're going to have very poor play, and game is rarely going to be cold. I think it's going to be on a finesse at best. Now, a vulnerable game on a finesse is worth bidding, but if it's worse than that, I have to say I would pass. But Migri, is an accomplished player. She elected to invite, and he'll play 2-0 instead of 3-0, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure they're gonna play 2 now. Because Rosenthal doesn't have anything resembling an accept. He's got a very softish 15. We see back in the oven room, Pepsi has led the 10 of spades.
We know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, 10 of clubs comes next.
You don't need to be a weatherman to know which way the wind blows, right?
Yeah. So how's 2-0 going to fare in the closed room?
Well, Andrew just got a favorable lead.
All right, I guess with 3 clubs and 2 spades for sure is 5. He's probably going to.
I think they can make 4 clubs now. It's going to go. I think that it's going to go 10 jack, and the 8's going to appear, and
Oh yeah.
4 club tricks. So very dicey contract's going to come home.
Yeah, it's one of these hands where the defense just doesn't have any suits that it can play profitably.
Right. Good point.
Diamond sets up the queen jack, clubs blows up that suit, heart lead rises your jack, a spade is into the queen. So it's a friendly hand for the declarer. Debbie's in the process of making her 3 now. She's playing all her tricks out just in case there's a red suit squeeze of some sort, which we can see there isn't. So 430 will be 7 M's to Rosenthal. Oh, she claimed 11 tricks. I must have missed something there at the end.
Well, it's interesting to me on the play in 2-0 trump that Andrew does not play the queen of spades instead of going after the clubs. But hearts are 3-3. The spade king was onside. 2 spades, 3 hearts, 3 clubs. He's still going to make 2-0 trump.
Mm-hmm. We'll see how May feels about the invitation or not.
Well, now it appears there's a spade tennis in the closed room.
I'm not sure that that's going to matter much. Can UG
No,
put
just-
their spade through and put declare to the guess here?
I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to see a sweet surrender very soon.
Well, if she plays a spade now, I mean, I wasn't following the play as to whether that's a logical thing to do, but declare has to finesse otherwise.
You're
I
right.
don't think they have enough tricks to make 3 now. They may start to make 2 now.
Now, if partner wanted a spade back, they might have let a higher diamond. Leaving a low diamond suggests they might want a diamond, but we'll see.
Well, Gigi knows the partner doesn't want a spade back, doesn't need a spade back. From her point of view, she knows what's going on in the spade suit, but here she just plays a diamond and now declares the rest. Or has enough tricks. They don't have the rest, they're still off the ace of
Yeah, the
hearts.
ace of hearts is out, but
The danger is gone away.
and May passed one no trump, so I suspect Jacob will make one no trump without working up too much of a sweat. Michael chose to lead a spade in a non-statement auction as opposed to a club.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, I would do it too. Must be wrong.
Now he's also in a spot where he just has no suits he can play profitably. I believe Pepsi won this opening spade lead, cashed the king of hearts, or led the king of hearts and got all ducked, and then he reverted to spades. Ball has made three.
Right, eight tricks for Andrew as predicted.
Nine, he made nine.
Nine tricks. Oh, my apologies. Nine tricks. And now poor Michael, he was end played in a sense when he let a spade at trick one. And now he fires back a club, but Pepsi has none of that. Goes up with the king, and we called
Went up to the king and called the director. I bet that was a misclick.
I bet that was a miss. What are the rules on the misclicks in this tournament? Are you aware, Danny?
You know, I was actually reading about that because I was looking up some of the rules on some other stuff. I was reading about that this morning. Apparently, the rules are that you can always ask for a misclick and the opponents can just give you one, or if it's not a obvious one, you can call the director if there's a dispute.
So it seems like it's rather gentlemanly or ladylike.
Yes. So having a sense of deja vu, Migri once again has a 4-4-4-1 hand with 12 points, 2 of which are a singleton queen, and once again heads up in the bidding.
Well, this is a little bit better than the last hand because we have 12 points instead of 11. And
Yeah.
we do have good spots in both majors and in clubs. So I'm
Mhm.
embarrassed to tell you that this time Fickle Mitch would open a club.
Yeah, this hand is a little better. Just the coincidences are pretty strong. I don't think it's going to matter too much with Rosenthal having a strong no trump hand opposite that they're going to end up being 3-0 either way. We'll see how their inverted minor structure works here. I guess that Migri is going to rebid 2 hearts. Yeah, there she goes. And Rosenthal will probably bid
3 hearts.
no.
No, I mean, partner, you could still get to 3-0 by bidding 3 hearts, but
I think he's just a bit 2-0. I mean, if 2-0 is forced, but 2-0.
I think you're right. I mean, if I had a stiff spade, I would bid 3 hearts, but here with all this extra power and a balanced hand, I think you're right.
Bid 3-0. He just wants to, you know, on some level, you need to protect that king of spades too, in case partner has 2 low spades.
You know, and there's the old adage, bid what you think you can make.
We see the king of clubs is back in the dummy, so that wasn't a misclick, and it was straightened out, and the defense is going to end up taking 4 tricks, right? 4 tricks, right? Yeah. So that's going to be a flat 4.
All right, so we get a heart lead, which is not going to hurt Andrew too much.
Yeah,
he's just a question of how many tricks he takes.
Yeah.
You can play on a diamond or a spade and get 9, and then the question is whether somehow he'll scrape up a 10th trick if the opponent slip a little.
So since there's not much of the play, going back to the auction, would you have overcalled one spade with the north hand?
Yeah, I would. I mean, not vulnerable. I would. I want the spade lead, and you know, I'm a little bit more aggressive in overcalling a spade than other suits because it's the boss suit, and I do want the lead. What do you think?
I think so too, and another factor in that favor that you mentioned, it's the boss suit. We have a singleton heart, so partner didn't open some number of hearts. There's a fair chance the opponents have a heart fit, and being one spade makes it harder for them to find it on some hands.
Well, and the flip side of this is if you overcall a spade and partner has a twist hand with a spade fit and shortness somewhere, you're going to have a good save. I mean,
Yes.
it's not like you're looking for this white on white, but still, yeah, it just seems like that's the modern style. Maybe Ross Stone didn't bid this way, but most of us do now.
Yeah, and I think vulnerable that it would not really be a serious consideration to bid one spade for me anyway, just because.
No, I would
yeah.
not bid a spade vulnerable either. In fact, it's hard for me to imagine bidding a spade playing match points, but some of my partners do, and I admire them for it. But I haven't joined that circle yet.
So we can see that Debbie did not bid one spade. So both she and Doug chose the low road. I wonder if other pairs are overcalling or not there. I play with some partners who would bid two spades with that hand facing a past partner as well. But that might be a little rich at equal white. I
That
mean,
sounds like a bid I would make in college.
yeah.
That's a long time ago, my friend.
Yes, it is. So once again, an inverted auction, two hearts by West showing heart values. Perhaps he's going to bet some number of no trump.
So two no trumps obviously forcing.
Yeah. I think that's the right style at him. So I don't think you want to cater your inverted auctions to ending in two no trump. And this lets you bid out your hands better.
And we're going to get to the same very exciting three no trump contract at the open room.
Let me see, Rosenthal's about to take 10 tricks. He's got two more clubs and a loser in both hands. It's one of these spots where you could play a memory squeeze if somebody had both the diamond and the spade honors left. Try to.
I want to digress for a moment, Danny, because it was called to my attention that there was some discussion earlier in the week about what happened with Mike Levine having a disability and following the rules and so on and so forth.
Yes.
I've known Mike Levine for most of my life. We're not close friends or anything like that, but we both are from the Ann Arbor area from a long time ago. And he posted something thanking Aaron Silverstein and the USBF on bridge winners today. He is such a gentleman. And I just want to shout out to the bridge world, if they aren't aware of that, to know that this man, he basically felt bad that what happened for his teammates, but I have nothing but admiration for him. And if anyone who's interested in following that discussion, if you look and see what Mike Levine posted today, you will no doubt conclude the same thing I have. He's a good guy. There's a lot of good guys here. People want to get the right things. Aaron Silverstein wrote something really lovely as well earlier in the week, and it's nice to see, even if what happened is not what people want, it was well reasoned, and people are trying hard to do the right thing. So please, if you have any interest in it, I'll take a look at what Mike Levine wrote today.
Yeah, I can second that. And we actually have an interesting hand that appeared in the close room while you were discussing that. So West has a sort of normal four heart opening, favorable vulnerability. They might be a little strong for some people's tastes, but Dube doubled and UG has an easy four spade. But now the question is what to do as North. This is why the opponents preempt, because sometimes your partner only has four spades, and spades can be an awkward contract when you can make a lot of clubs, or sometimes four spades is the limit of the hand.
I agree with what Doug did. I mean, if you're going to commit to making a double, which is the most flexible bid, and partner bids four spades, you
Mhm.
could easily go minus in four spades, but you could certainly go minus at the five level. There's no guarantees. So
Sure.
to me, it's a standout choice to double and to pass four spades.
No, it's also that he's gonna be taking the rough with a shorthand, so if partner does only have four hearts, it's not like they're getting tapped at the gun.
Right.
So this will be pretty quick at this point.
Now, the only possibility here is that the diamond switch could be a singleton, and that's why Yiji is going up.
Mhm.
And there should be no problems on this hand as long as spades are no worse than 4-2, as we can
Yeah.
see.
And if spades are 5-1, she can draw 2 rounds of trumps and stop. And can she handle it from that point? Things might get pretty tough if they are.
Well, she's going for the extra match, the extra amp by roughing a spade.
This might not work out so well because after she cashes her spade, she's going to try to cross back to her hand with a club, and that's going to get roughed.
That would get roughed, and then there'll be a diamond. So you're right. But the good news is she's still going to make her contract.
Yes.
There'll be the rough, and there'll be the ace of the king of diamonds, and then school will be out.
Yeah.
Okay, at the other table, May opened a heart. I like the four heart bid, especially white on red.
Mhm.
But we're going to have a very different auction because May chose to bid one heart, and Debbie now has a pretty textbook two club bid. Now, judging on what she did before, she's close to doubling in bidding clubs. I mean, if she had the 10 of clubs, do you think she'd be doubling first instead of bidding two clubs? It's close.
I guess. I mean, it's not my style. I'm a much heavier overcaller.
Okay. All right. Good enough.
So I don't think the Rosenbergs are going to end up in four spades after this start.
Well, it's going to be interesting.
But we can see five clubs should make in comfort, right?
Five clubs looks pretty cold to me unless you misguess the diamonds. Well,
Even if you
hold on a second. Four spades went down, but what did we miss? The ace of hearts was led, diamond shift, king of spades and a spade. And now she roughed a heart. And now she played a club to the queen that was roughed. And then she should only be losing a diamond king. What did we miss there?
I don't know. Can we get the replay on that? Oh, she took the diamond finesse, being told.
Okay.
No, that's good.
That's an ouch.
So maybe the Rosenbergs will get the four spades after this start. Michael cubed 2 hearts in response to partner's overcall, and now partner doubled 3 hearts, which presumably just showed a good hand. He bid 3 spades on his chunky 4-card suit, and I think Debbie's going to raise the 4.
I would think so too. We'll see.
She's probably denied 4 spades because if she had 4 spades and 6 clubs and a good hand, she would have bid 3 spades over 3 hearts, I'm guessing. Here over 3 spades, she's bidding 4 hearts. Is that some sort of choice of games thing, or is that some sort of slam try? Michael's an unpassed hand, so he's totally unlimited here. And we can just imagine Michael having the same hand with a 5th spade, for example, where now you have 5 spades, 6 clubs, and the ace of diamonds, and you're just called for 6 clubs. So I can see why she's considering a slam here. Michael, that's 4 spades.
Yichi has an interesting problem here in the closed room. A diamond, a heart, two diamonds. What do you like? She chose to pass.
Yeah, in my style, two diamonds is usually an unbalanced hand, and when when the partner's unbalanced, they're usually short in my long suit, and my suit's bad, and my values are soft, and yeah, I sort of like her passive two diamonds, whether you can make a game or not.
If you were going to bid, what would you bid? Would you consider two no or three diamonds? I would not be probably bidding hearts, but what do you think?
With queen and one spade, two no seems kind of rich, so probably three diamonds.
Okay.
Rebidding king nine six. I mean, I just like pass. I mean, it seems like any bid we make could be fraught with danger. So we see the Rosenbergs have reached slam. So not that it's going to be a stretch, but I think perhaps he does need to lead his heart to beat it. He doesn't lead a heart. The heart goes away on the spades, and now declare can guess the diamonds potentially. So it's going to be likely to be an odd push. So we see Debbie jump to five no trump over her four spades in the modern expert style. That's very often a choice of contracts and not some sort of grand slam try like it used to be back when we all first started learning bridge.
Back when I was over calling two spades on ace queen fifth of spades and out. Yes.
Then too, yes.
Let's go back to the other table or the other match and see what's going on there, shall we?
Sure.
We're in a little bit of a lull here.
So Debbie has her only hope is an unlikely singleton king of diamonds at this point. Not impossible, but unlikely.
Sad to say, we've all been in slams that require more than that.
Yeah, well, actually, before the clubs went for us, singleton king of diamonds wasn't totally unlikely, possibly. Now it's requires May to have 12 cards in the major suits, which she doesn't. She tried the effect of the Chinese finesse. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say that anymore.
No. Okay.
She tried the effect of.
But are you still a fan of the Cleveland Indians?
I like the Guardians.
Okay, all right. Good to know.
And there's
all right, so that was a surprising push.
Yeah.
And we never got to the other table. That's okay. We'll see if Debbie and Michael can stop in two diamonds.
Well, do you want to stop in two diamonds? That's another question, because you do have 25 high card points and a potentially running 6-card suit here.
I'd want to be in 3-0 if my partner had the 10 of diamonds.
Even
Vulnerable at imps.
even without the 10 of diamonds, isn't it a good spot? You just need 4-4 spades, basically, right?
Yeah, you need 4-4 spades.
And if it goes a diamond pass, a hard pass, the chances of 4-4 spades goes up reasonably. We'll see how they handle this.
It's a good point. Do you play any robot bridge, Danny?
I do not. I find robot bridge to be too frustrating, and yeah, I just don't like the way the bots bid.
I find it's like going to a batting cage. I don't confuse it with bridge, but I'm not ashamed to confess that with Debbie Rosenberg's hand, playing with the robots, I would open a no trump.
Yeah. Well, that might find you in 4 hearts pretty quickly, which wouldn't be so good.
Yeah, well, I'm not. It's ugly, but I'm admitting it.
Yeah, in fact, if you get the 4 hearts on this combination, you might even get doubled.
Well, yeah, but on a good day, you might make it too.
Yeah.
A very good day. Anyway, okay, let's see what's going on. Andrew opened 2-0 with 19 and a reasonable 6-card suit. I agree with that.
Mhm.
And the Migri is opted for the Stamen convention, so they're headed to 3-0,
Yeah,
and this should make pretty easily with the club suit on side.
yeah, and likely a spade lead, and you'll have 2 spades, and you'll have 6 clubs. You can knock out the ace of hearts.
And Michael has also passed 2 diamonds, so that board rates to be a push. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think these last 2 boards are going to be a push. I'd like, if we have Ewan around, I'd like to go to the other match and see what's going on there.
Yes, please. I did get a message from you in a few minutes ago. Up there he is.
Okay, the Lewis
45 to
team,
38.
the Lewis team has surged ahead by 9 imps, and they're both on the last board. And
Yeah, they're both playing that last 3 no. Can we see the scorecard? Let's see where the imps went and came and went in that match.
I'm interested in the hand that was in 4 spades and 6 clubs. I think they both pairs were in 4 spades.
It looks that way. That was 28, right?
Yeah, that was good. And then I'm 29.
29, there was a big swing apparently.
Let's look at board 29. Someone went for 8 bills.
Yeah, that might be the 4 heart. Yep, that's exactly the auction I was predicting. Remember, you said you might open a no trump, you might find yourself in 4 hearts doubled, and there it was.
You called it. You did
Yeah.
call it. All right. That was a nice swing for the Lewis squad. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we've got let's review where we're at. We've got one match where the Lewis team is up by 9 imps, a long way to go. And the other match, which we've concentrated on, the Rosenthal team is up by 28. Again, not an insurmountable lead. And there should be plenty more fireworks. So Danny, thank you for your time, and I've enjoyed chatting with you, and hopefully people can hear me. It's unclear. I've had some volume issues, but I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of these matches.
Yeah, so there's another segment coming up, and these are 8 segment matches, 120 boards, so there's a lot of time for teams to come back. And there'll be more bridge this afternoon.
Right.
I'm
And the
sure
next
what
time I
time.
do this, I'll be home and not on vacation. I won't be using my tablet, and it won't be painful for people to try and figure out what I'm saying. So
Yeah, so your next set is going to be Steve Garner and Jordan Chodorow, if I'm pronouncing that right. And I'm not sure exactly what time the 3rd set starts, because I usually do morning sets for these. And I'm actually gonna be back tomorrow morning with a well-known player from the bridge world that we haven't seen in a while, named John Diamond. He and I will be doing the morning forecast. So
Third set today is 5 o'clock Eastern.
okay, so the hand that we thought was going to be a dull 3 no trump looks like Migri and Andrew Rosenthal are having a puppet statement disaster. So yeah, Andrew thought that 3 hearts was no 4 or 5 card major. Migri thought 4 hearts was 4 hearts, and now.
And so now what we're having is we're going to have the match tighten up a little bit.
Yeah. I don't see any way that East West can recover from where they are here.
Especially since they're in 5 diamonds, which is, needless to say, not a pretty contract. This happens to everyone at every level. And
Yeah.
the thing about this is having one disaster and staying tough and not letting it lead to multiple disasters. So, and of course, this being the last board of this segment, that they can air it out, figure out what they're doing privately, and they'll be fresh for the next time they play together.
So Migri raised 3 hearts to 4, and she knew that when partner bid 4 spades, something bad had happened because a limited 2-no trump opener would never bid again. So she tried to get out in 4-no, which would have worked, but five diamonds obviously is going to go down a bunch. So I think I'm not sure what Andrew might have taken 4 hearts as both majors. Not sure what he thought 4 hearts was, because 3 hearts said no major, right? No 4 or 5 card major. Yeah, so then I think that 4 spades was just, yeah. He showed no major and then partner bid 4 hearts. Maybe he thought partner was 5-5. Turn doesn't matter. The 2 diamonds made just 2 in the open room, so Podolsky actually won imp on that board.
So Danny, in the unlikely event that you were a gambling man, what
Yeah.
would you say are the odds of the Rosenbergs getting to 5 diamonds on board 30?
The Rosenberg's getting to 5 diamonds.
I'm sorry, the Jacob and May getting to 5 diamonds.
Oh,
About
couple
as,
hundred thousand to one.
the odds are about the same as the Rosenbergs getting to 5 diamonds.
Yeah, I would say that anything can happen with if there's a misclick or a misunderstanding, that weird things happen. And I will say that you'll note that these weird things tend to get less unwound, which is probably a bad way of saying it, when you're playing with tablets than you would be playing live or with screens. There's often a sense of knowing that something wrong has happened in real life.
I think you're so right. And so and again, it's very easy for us when we can look at all the hands to see what's going on. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Playing with tablets makes it harder, and sometimes you just blank out what your system is, and there's a lot of pressure here.
Mm-hmm. It depends. It's taking a bunch of roughs and 5 diamonds. They don't really need to rough this king of. Like, I'm not sure if it matters. Looks like they'll be down 3 or 4 here.
Now, it's a matter of style. Do you think it's right to put up the Queen of Spades on board 30 when the 10 of Spades is left?
That's a good question. I mean, if the king of spades is onside, it'll be onside later. And if it's offside singleton, putting up the queen could be a disaster. But you also do want to be in the dummy to start clubs if you can be.
Yeah, the danger is if you don't put up if you don't put up the queen, and now you play 3 rounds of clubs and they switch to a diamond, you're in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. This is a spot where I think you just have to pay off to the stiff king and take your chances. But there are other hand types where you don't necessarily need to win that trick and dummy, and the king of spades will be onside later, like I said, if it's onside now.
Right.
Sometimes you also put yourself in a nasty guessing game because they get in and they lead the jack of spades next, and now you have to guess whether the spade is Dumbleton or not. Whereas if you just put the queen of spades up at trick 1, you're just done with those worries.
Right. Okay, so we can see that that Migri is going to have to lose a heart trick, and so Wildowski will get an infusion of imps.
Yes. Down 5, 250, and it's going to be about 12, I'm guessing. So that will definitely tighten the match up to about 15. And
All right, well, enjoy yourself tomorrow. You've been a pleasure to work with, Danny, and I think
thanks, Mitch.
I'm done until Tuesday. I think I go back. So,
All right.
all right. Listen, take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of these matches, and I'll talk to you all later.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Yep, thanks both of you as well. Thanks to all the viewers. As I said, next set, 5 o'clock. I will not be here. Somebody else will be taking over.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Ewan. All right, Danny, take care.